Hello, everybody. Welcome to Real Talk Fins Talk. I'm your host, Steve Malloy, and as always, my co-host, the one and only Rob Mosley,
Well,
aka Dolphin Thirsty. How you doing, brother?
I can't complain, man. Everything's good. I guess we could complain about the loss the other day, but that's more or less behind us. They showed up well, so I'm okay. Dolphin Thirsty's doing great. Check my site out. We got stumping every we got the trivia as always, as I talk about, but then we also got articles coming up every day. So thank you guys. Fins up. So how you doing out in Texas?
Cold,
Yeah.
believe it or not. Yeah, it was in the 30s for a low and 50s for a high. And then this week, by Friday, it should be in the single digits or teens for a low. Highs in the 30s and 40s, maybe a little more, hopefully. But yeah, a little chilly here, brother. A little chilly here. Not Floridian weather for
Yeah, I know.
sure. Not
I know,
Floridian
that's for
weather.
sure.
Yeah.
But we are going to get down in the 50s this week. That's cold for us. So,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely. I remember that. I remember back in the day when I used to live down there. Yeah, for sure. That
yeah,
was freezing for me
yeah, no,
back then.
50s, we break out the hoodies and finally get to wear a hoodie and
Yeah.
stuff,
Hey,
in South Florida.
same here in Texas, man.
Yeah,
But if it goes below 60, degrees or something, they're breaking out the Parkers and stuff.
yeah, I
So
know. Hey, that's how I go. But Texas is getting colder every year, it seems like, during the winter.
yeah, it seems like it. It
Yeah.
does.
But anyway, I know we got time to
Yeah.
talk about our Dolphins. So,
Well, look, it was a heartbreaking loss, man. It really was. But let me tell you something. I got some hope, man. I got some hope back. These Dolphins, they fought to the very end. It was a dogfight out there, and they did very well. They kept up with, hey, probably one of the best teams, if not the best team in football right now. And so I'm real happy for my team. And also we're still 8-6. Um, we still have control of our destiny.
that we do.
Um, and I agree with you, Rob. I know I heard you earlier today on your show, Dolphins Daily, that you'd like to see him win out the
Yeah.
next three games, and I agree with you. I don't want any questions. I don't want any questions at all. I want them to win it out.
Yeah.
That way, we know for sure they're going to be in the playoffs for sure. I don't want them to lose one
Right.
and then,
I know.
there's
The
just all kinds
narrative
of
is
things that can happen.
the only one that they can really lose without a doubt is the Packers game, but I still don't want that because
Right.
if we beat the Jets and the Patriots, we're in the playoffs no matter what happens this week against the Packers. But
Right.
I don't want to have to put it all on that because if we beat the Packers, lose to the Patriots, but still beat the Jets, our chances are still in the 90% range. So at least that opens the door. Yeah. If you lose against the Packers, you got to beat the Jets and the Patriots. So definitely want to get us back on the winning streak.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
I'm in a different location there. I'm in different, same house, just a different spot. My college son's back and took my studio / his room back. So, but anyway, so yeah, I hope that we win. We could just get that losing taste out of our players' mouths. Get that winning feeling back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Beat the Packers, because like I say, you could lose to the Packers, beat the Patriots, beat the Jets, like I just mentioned, and you're still in the playoffs. But I don't want to fall on that because then one bad slip of the ball in New England and you could lose that game, and then you're really screwed. So let's just start winning this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like we have Hank in the house and Evan. Welcome, everybody out there in Dolphin Land. Welcome to the show. Please like, subscribe, and share with your friends and your neighbors. And please, we'd love having you and joining the show. So let's just talk a little bit about the game a little bit. Primarily, I want to talk about Tua first, and then we'll talk a little bit about McDaniel, our coach, Mike McDaniel. So a little bit about Tua. Last show that we had, I was a little hard on Tua. I was a little
hard, yeah.
A little hard
I
on
use
him.
the definition of little different than you do, but okay, I'll let you get away. So you are a little hard on him.
Okay, Tua, I acknowledge you, brother. I acknowledge you. You look. And there's no doubt. Look, he didn't have an elite game. He had a good game. In my opinion, he had an above average good game. Look, he was 56.7 passing percentage. He had 2 TDs and he had 104 passer rating. So It was a good game. Okay. And he had 2 drop touchdown passes, or he could have had 4. He could have had 4. Okay. So that's not his fault. That pass that he threw to Sherfield in the end zone.
Yeah, no,
there's no other place he could have thrown that ball. And Sherfield should have caught that ball. It was right in the breadbasket, man.
Yep, no, it was.
I'm really disappointed in Sherfield because usually he's a sure-handed guy out there.
No, I know. He threw it where he had to, where the defender couldn't get it. Yeah. Where the defender's not going to blow him up in the end zone. It was the perfect pass. He did the only end result, he didn't catch it. So
yeah, I mean that was, and the same with Tyreek in the end zone.
Yeah, look, that was a little bit tougher because
look, we're paying Tyreek $30 million a year. He needs to catch those. Okay.
Yeah, and I agree on the Braylon Sanders. Those. Instead of worrying about the Bills defender, if he just keeps running, he probably catches that ball in stride.
And again, Tua threw it right where he had to, right above the guy's helmet, and Tyreek went up to catch it, and he touched it. It went through his hands, right through his hands.
No, I know. I agree. And Tyreek actually tweeted out that he took blame for that game, that he didn't play well, and that he is going to do better moving forward. But I'm like, Tyreek, that was far from on you that game. There was a lot of other stuff. So he took the heat for it.
Well,
yeah.
So moving forward with Tua, this is what I expect from our quarterback. I do not expect him to play at elite level, but I do expect, let's put it this way. If he can have a game like he had this past week against Buffalo, if he can have a game like that, that's what we need.
Oh, look, that's winning football.
That's winning football. He's gonna win. He's gonna win some playoff games for you if he can continue that and be consistent at that level. If he goes below that, we're in trouble. But if he can stay at that level
or above, if he goes above, then really
above would be great. Above would be great. That would be wonderful. But look, the kid he's done a lot more than we've expected him to do this year. Right? We were just expecting him to be a game manager, and there's been some games where he's gone beyond being a game manager, right? So this week I'm happy with Tua. Yeah. I'm happy with Tua. Now,
I know you're going to get into what Evan just touched on about third downs and stuff like that.
Evan's been pretty hard on our coach, Mike McDaniel, and deservedly so. You know why? He's a Yale University graduate. Okay? He's our genius, offensive genius, running back guru, and he can't even continue to play football 101. Run the ball. The ball. We were having success. We were having great success, better than success. Mostert was running right through those guys, the Buffalo Bills. He was averaging 8 yards a pop.
I know. I think sometimes he gets too smart for himself, and he's trying to outsmart instead of just go up there. Because there was a couple other decisions in the game that aggravated me. Before I forget, and then you can get back into your little. My dog wanted to make national TV appearance for the first time ever. So anyway, on the 2-point conversion, I thought that was an example of chasing points too early, and that's not me playing the result. I said right from the beginning. Now my whole family back there distracted me. Sorry, guys. Anyway, I thought he played the result too early, going for 2. And I said it before he did it, because you're chasing points there. Because if you do the math, that's like, if it's like 1 minute left in the game and you say that's going to be the last time we get the ball, then it makes sense. But you knew you were going to get the ball more. And I just didn't like going for 2 there. I know, most of the time as fans, when we don't get it on 3rd and short, we play the result. Oh, he should have run it. But then if he runs it and it gets stuffed, you're like, oh, he should have passed it. So no matter what, sometimes you play the results. But I do agree with you on that particular game. You go with the flow of the game. And we were running the ball well, and we should have ran more on those 3rd and short. Then it at least gives you that chance to if you don't get it, then on fourth down, you're still in fourth and short, and you can decide what you're going to do and whatever, So
Yeah.
it's just, I don't know. It is what it is, though. But I agree with you on that take. Good take.
Yeah, well, the thing is, this is what I'm concerned with, and this is something we've been talking about on this show and even through the Fins Talk Sports Network, is, we're laughing about it now, we're joking about it now, with Mike McDaniel making these, I'm just gonna say it, stupid calls after he was running the ball successful, and it's gonna cost us if he doesn't, I don't know, he just needs to. I don't know the answer, but all I know, it's going to cost us if he continues to do what he's doing.
Well, it may have cost us the other night.
And it did. It did. You're right.
But
Absolutely. Good point. Yeah, it absolutely did.
But then, like we mentioned, some players dropped some damn balls too. That's sorry for the French, but it's just, it's a whole bunch of factors. He could have coached up a little better. Some players could have made catches that they could have, and then we're talking about is a different result, because when we settle for 2 field goals early in the game, I am tweeted out, we can't be settling for field goals because they were getting the Bills were getting touchdowns at that point.
That's another thing.
And we can't be trading touchdowns for field goals. So yeah, that was disappointing. But of course, one of those was the couple of drops in there that you factor. Hey, Cap, welcome to the club.
Cap for life, brother. Thank you for joining. Always like to see you here, and I know we got Liz in here as well. Thank you. Appreciate y'all. Go ahead, Rob. Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, man. It's all good. So like I was saying, it's a combination of coaching and player, because passing is okay in a couple of those now, but he didn't throw to Tua's strength, because Tua's strength is not throwing those outs. So if you are going to do a pass, do something maybe where he rolls out to his strong side, or you got a tight end going across the middle, or a Tyreek going. His out is not his strong suit, because he can't fit the ball, as tight as some other quarterbacks can. And that's not a knock on Tua. That's not his game. It's not his game. He's much better throwing it in the middle of the field and whatever. And those outs, I've said all season long, it's not his strength. And if you are going to, why not roll him out at least and have someone coming with him across the field, break the tight end open for a couple of yards. All the other teams can do it. We can too. But like you said, we should have ran the ball. I mean, it's as simple as that. We ran the ball well all game, and we went away from it for inexplicable reasons.
Yeah, second half we had like 6 or 7 carries for 25 yards, and still he was getting 5 yards, 4 or 5 yards a pop. That's still pretty good, right? Yeah. So he did adjust. It's just that he wasn't consistent, and he
didn't keep away. I would have just run it until they stopped it. If they stopped it a couple of times, and you're like, okay, they figured out a running game, but you just pound it until they stop it.
Yeah, and that's going to help Tua out a lot, big time. It would help any quarterback out, right? Keep them honest and on their toes. And you're right. His strong suit is not throwing, outside the numbers, out routes and stuff like that towards. So and McDaniel was playing with his strengths for most of the year, and we were successful down the middle, and but Buffalo really they didn't do any hard press coverage. Well, they did, and they did. What am I saying? They did a few times, but most of the time they were playing a soft coverage. They weren't playing tight. So at least that's what I saw.
And then on the flip side, on our defense, I know we were down. No Eric Rowe and Elijah Campbell was out.
Yeah.
But it's just when you got a lead, you think your defense could at least hold the lead, but we didn't let them drive twice on us, man. Once. So I mean, I know we love to, but we still score. At the end of the day, we scored 29 points and left.
Yeah, no doubt.
We did leave some points on the board. But it's just, we took some points off the board that we could have had on the board.
Right.
So I do blame some of the defense too. But like I said, when you're missing a lot of the defensive backs, maybe somewhat of an example. But overall, we've still been solid against the run. But it just kind of hurt on some of those plays. And like that, I know some people are saying that last play was tic-tacky, that Kohu got called.
Right.
But I agree. In that game, it was kind of tic-tacky because some of our guys got mugged on a couple of plays and they didn't call it.
True.
So then it's okay to let them play, but then in the crucial moment when the game's on the line, then all of a sudden they're going to call the same little stuff. So to me, it just wasn't consistent from the referees either. I'm not a conspiracy. We lost the game. This is what it is. But I would like to see more consistency from the referees. Like, you saw clearly that Hill was interfered on one pass that they didn't call. They held Waddle going across the middle, and he couldn't get to the ball. So it's just to me, there's like a few things, but I know the D. We're far from an elite D, but a good D, man. When you got a lead in the fourth quarter, we just let them drive on us, and it killed us, and they killed time off the clock. That last drive they did just killed us, and they were able to milk the clock until they kicked the field goal. So, there's nothing you can do on offense that you can blame offense on that, other than maybe we should have kept the ball longer by running to keep the ball away from Josh Allen. But, I know it's just all over. It's easy to blame everyone when we're mad. So
yeah, well, I'm not mad. I mean, I think they played a great game. It's one of the best games they played all year. As far as and special teams got involved too, right? So they played a great game too. So we had special teams, and defense did play okay the first half, but we still not playing complimentary football, right? We're still not playing.
No, I know we're not complete. Man, our best game so far of the year was against the Browns when we played from both. McD. Oh my goodness, Evan, you're not watching the same thing. McD would act. I mean, McGase would act. I mean, McGase. See, he got me all confused with his McD. Gase would actually go to the sideline, sit on the bench, and look at the. You see, at least McDaniel caring about the defense and actually watching the game. So don't give me that, man. I can't. I don't know. I may have to skip Evan's show for the night, which I won't. But because I love those guys, because Hank will bring me back in. But he's not Gase 2.0. That's just people trying to get attention. He is far different than Gase, far different. And he's a lot more. I could watch a Gase offense and I know what's coming, and it's just like, to me, it's a big difference. I mean, yes, granted, he has more weapons, to work with than Gase had, but still, to me, it's like, please, I mean, come on, Adam Gase used to sit on the bench and look at his play card while the defense is out there doing their thing. You never see that. And yes, Evan, but I don't know how that has to do anything on,
Well, I agree with Evan's point. There has to be some accountability. Okay. And I don't see it with this coach. He's got that's my opinion. And I agree with Evan. And there's no, and going back to the refs, and then I'll get back to McDaniel. But going back to the
accountability, Evan, he has to expound on he takes the responsibility. I don't know. Well, I mean, 3rd and 17 is not on the head coach.
No, but look, I understand where he's coming from. But first off, let me go back to the refs. Every game that I've watched this year, football game, including our games, the refs have been very inconsistent. They haven't been consistent across the board at all. I don't understand what's going on with these guys. I don't know what they're smoking or what they're taking, but it's really affecting their calling. But enough of the refs. What I want to say about McDaniel as well, and accountability. He's always got an excuse. Well, we stopped the run because they were what do they call it? Yeah, in the box and all that. So, and then another thing I don't like is, dude, this is playoff time. Okay. We're trying to make it to the playoffs. Okay. This is game face time, not joking around and clowning around. Fans are getting sick and tired of that crap. I just don't like it. Personally, I don't like it. And I know some other folks I've talked to don't like it. And I just don't like it. And he needs to start acting like a coach and making his coaches and players accountable. I think he fails in that. I think he fails in that respect. I love him though. I like him. I like McDaniel. Everybody has faults, right? And those what I see are his faults.
We see the public perception of him. You don't know what he's like behind closed doors and everything. Publicly, he's very open and wants to try to show he's a cool guy. But we don't know how he is behind closed doors.
True. That's a good point. Fair enough. Fair enough.
And then also, like I pointed out on Dolphin Daily and on my website, you can't be giving up touchdowns at the end of the first half, and every time you've done it, the other teams had the ball first in the second. And luckily, we stopped Buffalo from getting another score to open the half. But we're allowing touchdown, and those are backbreaking because 3 games in a row, they're getting into the end zone right before the half. The 49ers did it to us on the McCaffrey play. We did it because we decided against the Chargers, we decided to play the freaking prevent defense on, on the goal situation and let them get down to the 1 yard line. And then this week, Allen, I have to give him credit. He makes that pass almost every week, once a week, where he's running to the sideline, throws across. He had one just the week before that. I'm like, good God, you think they would know not to give up on a play and keep everyone covered in the end zone when he's running? But they just continue to, and he does it amazingly. But yeah, that was a heartbreaking touchdown. I thought it was almost like going to be the backbreaker, but much to the Dolphins' credit, they came out and actually took the lead in the second half. So I was pleasantly surprised. But if you stop that touchdown there, it's a whole different game.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
They had made the knucklehead play. They had milked the clock down. If they don't score in that play, they don't even get a field goal on that drive because they had let it go all the way to 0. So I'm like, yes, he ran it go to 0. And then I see the guy catch a damn ball. I'm like, crap. It's hurt.
Yep, for sure. Ryan Malloy. Ryan Malloy is
all on Greer, Evan. All on Greer, you little boy. Sorry, I had to take. He loves himself some Chris Gear. He probably has.
Who does?
Evan.
Oh,
he probably has a statue of Chris Greer at his house.
Right.
But it's all in Greer who hires these people that lets these guys make the decision because from what I hear that they kind of push. We don't know what's true, like I said, but if the internet rumors are true, they kind of pushed Boyer on him this year. So that they wanted to keep. That's what we heard him in the hiring process. So, but like I said, you don't know if that's true or not, but. That's what I've heard. So then that's all on Chris Greer. So,
yeah,
that's it.
But going back to my son, Ryan Malloy, who was on here, he said McScheme Master. So, I think he is. I think, no. He's got a point. McDaniel is. He has devised and designed an excellent scheme for this offense and for Tua. Let's face it. He's a genius in that respect. He really is.
Yes, and I was shocked, Evan, but I still think that was just to get brownie points. So with Bobby, the producer, because you've been praising him. But I love you, Evan. You're a Canadian brother up north of the border, just like my wife. So I always like me some Evan. But
okay,
but
so let's talk some
Greer more than coach. That's my take.
Gotcha. Let's talk some.
I just have to say, I love Rob with the gloves off. Damn, he is going at Evan, man. This is awesome.
Well, I love me some Evan, though. So it's all in fun. He knows it.
It's all fun.
I'm going to invite myself to have lunch with him when I make it up to Montreal in the summer. So, he's going to show me where the good place is. Because I'm a St.
Hey, Bob, what do you look like, man? You can join us if you like.
I would put my camera on. I'm in the car right now.
Oh, I got you. Okay. No problem, brother.
No, but I think you guys are on a roll, man.
No, it's all good. Evan knows it's all in fun. He can take some shots at me later when I come in there. So
he will. Trust me.
Oh, I know. I have to get I got to get my shots. So his counter blows come later.
Evan gets those little digs in on you. Don't worry. He'll get it.
I know.
All right. Let's talk about the man of the hour. The guy that I've been saying that's been on the hot seat for a little while now, Josh Boyer.
Okay. I'm sorry I stole your thunder before we got to. I forgot about that. You were going to.
That's all right. That's all right. Josh Boyer, the man has a nerve to stand up on the podium and say, he knows that the opposing the opposing offenses are adjusting to the cover 0 in his defense. So why in the hell does he keep running the same defense?
Well, he's dropped. To his credit, I agree with you. He does it still, but he has the frequency of it has dropped a lot. So so that's good. And I don't know if you listen to all these different shows, and Kyle Krabs was saying that the Dolphins have ever since Chubb's come on to the team has done it less and are increased on quarterback pressures. As he agrees, though, that Chubb, with me, that Chubb needs to be more than just a guy that opens things up forever, because we're paying him for a guy to be making impact plays, not to be paying him to open things up for others. So maybe we still got to go to blitz. I want to see Chubb get in there and make more plays like Phillips is doing and Wilkins is doing, because to me, when you give up a first-round pick and whatever else we gave up for him, and you sign him to that big-ass contract, to me, you should be a franchise-type defensive player like Hill is on the offense. I want impact. I don't want to be, whoa, Phillips is playing better since he's got there. I don't want that. I want to be Chubb playing his ass off too, and then racing to the quarterback and see who gets there first. That's what I want to see. So anyway, but again, I know, but I do
agree.
I agree that Boyer sometimes, and we don't know how much he's hurt by the depleted secondary. In all fairness, I know every team gets banged up, but there is some fairness in that complaint. But yes, I agree with you actually, Steve. But it's just, to me, it's just I want to see the bigger impact from Chubb, so I had to get that in there.
No, you're absolutely. I agree with you. But Chubb does have 9 sacks this year. He has 9 sacks. Now, not all with Miami.
Right, and all of Miami, and he just doesn't seem to have that burst with Miami. It's like he's almost slow sometimes.
Yes,
it's
I agree.
I thought he'd be quicker footed. Like Phillips, it's like his locomotive going, bam, and Chubb just seems like a step slow all the time. But maybe it's just me being too harsh because we gave up that first round pick and gave him a bank load of money when I knew we were already going to be up against the cap come the off season. Yeah, so.
No, I don't think you're being hard on him at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
Hey, folks, again, thank you for joining. Ben, I see you there. How you doing, brother? Thank you for joining tonight. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends and your neighbors. And remember, once we get that 500 subscriber, okay, we've got a jersey giveaway. In that jersey giveaway, the drawing is going to be for the Javon Holland. And there you go. Waddle. Jalen Waddle jersey. So go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. And thank you. Thank you, Bobby, for putting that out there.
Steve, I know we're running down on link. So you're in agreement with me. Even though the Packer game mathematically is not a must win because we can still beat the Patriots and the Jets and get in the playoffs guaranteed. But don't you just feel like we need that mojo to win and get back?
Yes, for sure.
I would be fair because I'm a guy that look at the schedule and you look at, we win 3 straight, we lose 3 straight, we win 5 straight. So as sure as hell, now we just lost 3. As sure as hell, I don't want to lose 5 straight. So, we got to snap that heck out of us right now. And so I want to beat the Packers. And unfortunately, we're getting the better version of the Packers. They're starting to play better. I don't know how much of it was last night. They just played the Rams, who are no longer that great, but it's just still, I'm a little bit worried. And I was hoping maybe the Rams got beat last night, so their playoff chances would be nothing, but they won. So they still got it's 2 teams going to be fighting for their playoff lives this week. And I just don't think we can take it on the chin.
No, so. I agree. And to talk a little bit about the game, and I'll make my prediction. Let's see. Green Bay, like you said, Green Bay is playing well. Their record right now, they're 3rd in their division, and they're 6-8. Okay, they're 6-8. Their defensive ranking right now is 21st in the league. The Dolphins are actually 14, so they're mid-level there.
Yeah.
They're averaging now at home. The good thing is they're only allowing 15 points a game at home.
Yeah, we're much better. It's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. Because
they always say defense travels better than offense, but not our defense. Because that's the old saying in football: defense travels better.
Yeah. Okay. Let me get to this, and then we're gonna have to close out because we're down to the wire here. Packers defense allows 23 points. Packers offense is number 20, and our offense actually dropped to number 9. We're averaging 24.6 points a game, and Pats are averaging 20.5. So I'm looking at it as an easy win, although we cannot sleep on the Packers, like you said. After all,
we cannot sleep on the Packers.
I thought we
were going to beat the Chargers, and if you look around the NFL this week, there's no teams that can sleep on any team. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, you got a team up winning 30-something to nothing, and they lose. You get a Texans team kicking Kansas City to overtime, and then you got the Cowboys losing to Jacksonville. So, I mean, it's just, there's nothing. In Green Bay, they still have Aaron freaking Rodgers, and that scares me. I don't care, and we got to win.
All right, Rob. And Evan said, don't forget about Sanders and Morstead. Yeah, they played great. I did mention special teams. They played great.
That one punt by Morstead was a thing of beauty, man.
Excellent.
I don't know if it was luck or whatever, but I'd take it if it's a thing of beauty.
Okay, so Rob, are you ready to make a prediction, or are you going to save it?
No, I will make a prediction for here. And then on my other network, I can say again, no one's going to know. It's probably a different crossover unless
Okay.
Evan hands me up. But I do think the Dolphins are going to win, but my score prediction might be different. But I say
Okay.
the Dolphins win 28-17. 28
Good.
to 17.
And you know what I got it?
What a
30-17.
Oh wow.
So,
Hey,
yeah. So
there
we're
we
on the
go.
same page there.
And I just
All
feel like
right.
it's a must win. Even though the mathematical little computer it spits out playoff scenario says it's not a must win, I just think we got to get back on the winning track.
Absolutely.
It does open a
I
couple
agree.
other doors if you win that game. Because like I say, if you lose that and then lose to the Patriots, you're already screwed, basically. So you got to at least win that, and then you could lose to the Patriots and beat the Jets, like I said, and there's still a scenario that's like 90% we get in. So let's just beat the Pack. That's my prediction. So I'm sticking with my 28-17. Fins up, Dolphins number 1. Yep. And Evan, be nice on me. Remember, Evan, what you hear last counts. Evan, you're great. There, I think I've got brownie points for the bandwagon show now.
Good. So. All right, everybody. Thanks again for joining us tonight. And as always, Dolphins number 1.
Fins up,
Dolphins
baby.
number 1.